Welcome into WagerTalk TV. I am Drew Martin, joined by Kevin Dolan and Brian Leonard of WagerTalk.com as we're talking Saturday college football here. We get the Michigan Wolverines and the Iowa Hawkeyes. Brian, coming to you first, we're seeing Wolverines minus 10 in the hook, road favorites, 42 being the total. Are you liking anything in Iowa City on Saturday?
Yeah, I think we learned something this week. The problem we've had with these teams is the Michigan, obviously, the offense has been terrific. Iowa, just the opposite. But you have to take a look at the way who these teams have played. The Wolverines probably played the easiest schedule in the country. Home games against a disappointing Colorado State team. Hawaii, who is up for the worst team in college football this year. Connecticut, who is normal Connecticut, which is not a good thing. And then last week against Maryland. And Maryland stuck in that game a little bit. So we learned a little bit last week. But when you play these weaker teams, it's hard to make the adjustments when you play conference affiliates. Michigan's schedule this year is just amazingly easy. They only play 4 road games this season. And in those road games, they play Iowa this week, who is probably the most disappointing offense in college football. Indiana, who's down again. Rutgers, who is down again. And then finally, Ohio State. So I believe they play Penn State at home and Ohio State on the road. Those are the 2 games. Michigan really, they can skate through all the other games and not have a problem. But I think we learned a little bit this week when they play Iowa. They beat Iowa 42-3 last year, so it's a revenge game for Iowa. Although this isn't the offense I'm looking to get a lot of revenge with. Iowa's had 20 scoring opportunities this season, which isn't many for as many games as they played. They're only averaging 2.2 points per opportunity. We all know that this team has not played well offensively, even against some really easy defenses like Nevada. The Hawkeyes' offensive success rate is only 34%, 15% in passing downs. Michigan gets a lead in this game. It'll be tough for Iowa to move the football on them. That said, Iowa's only given up, I believe, 6.5 points per game this year. And now they're getting, 10.5, 11 points at home against this Michigan team. It's tough for me to back either side. We kind of talked about, as you walked in, about the total being very low. That would be the only way I'd look at this game, but I can't bring myself to play a total that low in college football. So lean with the under, but this is more of a game where I think we learn than we make money betting-wise.
Kevin, are you liking anything on Saturday in this Big Ten matchup?
Well, Brian mentioned it, Drew. It is a tough one. I possibly would have been more interested in Michigan at the opening number, but, at 10.5, I just can't get to the window, at that kind of number. Iowa, have rebounded fairly well. Obviously, Brian mentioned their offensive problems. But their defense continues to get it done. They've given up just 5 points per game on average, just 65 yards per game on the ground as well. Over the last few starts. So they're getting it done there. Obviously face a much different beast this weekend than Michigan. But, nonetheless, this is a spot, Iowa have traditionally done well in, backs against the wall when they're welcoming in a nationally ranked powerhouse. In the Kirk Ferentz era, Iowa have welcomed in 8 top 5 nationally ranked teams, and they're 5-3 straight up in those games. Never mind taking the points, and they've won 5 of the last 6 outright as well. So this is not a team who, historically at least, kind of quakes their boots at a team showing up with a huge playoff ranking. And they actually beat a number 2 ranked Michigan side in this venue back in 2016 as well, 14-13, along with winning each of the last 4 meetings in Iowa City as well. So if you're giving me over a 10-point cushion here with Iowa, that's probably the side of the play I'm looking for. But to be honest, I might just take a pizza money bet with the plus 325 money line price instead. Because as Brian said, in terms of the total inside, it's probably a lean more than an actual play here. So, just a pepperoni pizza play on the plus 325 on Iowa, right?
All right, take a shot at the home dog there in Iowa City. Check out Kevin Dolan, Brian Leonard at WagerTalk.com, guys. And a good day to do so is Mondays. It's $9 Mondays. All plays from all handicappers discounted to just $9. Check it out, WagerTalk.com.